So, yeah, man, I'm over here in Lake Mary. We're live. I'm over here in Lake Mary, and yeah, I got a big smile on my face because literally the reason I told you to hold on a second was I noticed you picked the worst team in baseball today.
Yeah.
It was the first thing I noticed.
Hey,
First
listen,
thing I noticed, I checked our challenge brackets. I'm like, oh my god, he went there.
just imagine all the people picking the Cardinals today around the country and sports books all around. The
You think
Reds
they
gotta
are?
win sometime. How are the Reds favored? Come
They're
on.
not. They're both. I got them up at 110. Both. Yeah, I see them by both up at 110. The issue. Listen, you're right. Eventually, the numbers are going to catch up. But you got to. That's like the guy who bets on red because it's been black 4 times in a row on roulette, and it comes up 4 more times black. What? And
Yeah,
you
but
lose
it's
all
not
4 times.
4. It's not 4 now. It's 10. So now we're getting up there. So now we're getting to waters that's kind of crazy. I like Maley too. He's not terrible. So if anyone on the mound
Well,
could get
he's
it
their
done,
best. He's actually their best pitcher, but the
yeah.
problem is he's not having a good season. And the other guy is actually a pretty good pitcher who's also not having a good season. Dakota Hudson's not a bad pitcher. He's just having a bad season. But then you look at the lineups and you're like, look at what's his name? Arenado's having a good season. They have Goldschmidt hitting 280, who usually hits a buck in the first month and then comes on strong after that. So I would expect Goldschmidt to have monster numbers this summer because typically he's a slow starter.
Well, the
And then he
Cardinals are
really
the
picks
cream
it
of the
up.
crop in that division. Obviously, it's them
Yeah.
and the Brewers. I love what the Cardinals are doing right now too, though. It wasn't easy to make that pick, but listen, in sport hitters, you try to get the value going, and I think
You do.
anytime you get a team getting 11 where they've lost 10 in a row and they're at home and they're favored by Vegas after losing 10 in a row, I'll take a shot. So
I
we'll see
see
what
where you're
happens.
at. I see. Yeah, listen, if you hit that, it gives you a major advantage
Right.
in the brackets, and that's a big play. What else is going on, man? I'm in a cool little area. I'm in Lake Mary, Florida.
Ooh,
It's a cool area. It's where a lot of the ex-ball players
never
go.
heard of it.
It's
Lake Mary.
it's yeah, it's about 20 minutes north of Orlando, and it's really nice, man. It's really nice. It's a really cool area. Really, I was just in a downtown area getting something to eat. And there was a cool sports bar, a huge Irish bar, just a really nice area.
Just goes to
And
say, there's a
it's
lot of
shady.
places around the country, especially in places like Florida, like that no one knows about. But it's
No
just,
one
you know what
knows
I mean?
about it.
Yeah.
I stumbled onto it. I didn't even know. I didn't realize what it was, but it's nice. It's really nice. So you got some stuff going on. What do we got? NBA coming up.
There's a
What's going
lot
on in
to
the NBA?
talk about in the NBA right now, and we haven't been on for a couple days, and it's been eating at me inside. I have to talk about what's going on in the NBA. Where do I start? First of all, let's go back a couple days where the Brooklyn Nets are down 0-2 to your Boston Celtics. I don't know if you're an NBA fan, but you're Boston. The
Yeah.
Boston Celtics up 2-0, and Kevin Durant, Mr. Money Man, easy money sniper, is nowhere to be found. And it's actually alarming what we're seeing from him because it's not just him shooting and just can't find the rim. He's missing. He's 0 for 10 in the second half in a playoff game. This is supposedly the best scorer that ever lived. I mean, I understand Boston's the number 1 rated defense in the league. I understand they're harassing him, but do not give me that as an excuse for him to have 4 for 19, 5 for 20, to have 0 points in the second half. It's just unbelievable. He only scored from the free throw line, and it has to change.
When did he take those 10 shots? Is the question I would have. Did 5 of them come in the last 4 minutes of the game, and he was shooting shots he was supposed to shoot, and he shot them anyway, and he just didn't hit them? Or were all these early on in the third quarter, and then he went into a hole and he stopped hoisting the ball? Because to me, 10 shots. If you go 0 for 10, I want to know why he didn't shoot 15 times. I want to know why he didn't take 15
That's part of
shots.
the problem. Like, if you are as good as everyone's, and listen, I understand he's out of this world talented offensively.
Yeah.
But he's put on a pedestal. I think he's into the range of overrated a little bit, the way that they talk, because every time he's been in the playoffs,
hallelujah,
he waits for
hallelujah.
someone. Listen, he
now
waits for someone
to see that the 2020 ball players are overrated.
But listen, the only time he won a chip is when he went and joined the Warriors after they beat him down 3-1. So he was actually up 3-1 with Westbrook in their primes and lose to the Warriors. Again, he withered in the pressure. Again, couldn't score fourth quarters and close out games. He joins the team that beats him. So now you have Steph Curry getting all the attention, Klay Thompson getting all the attention. So now it's easy for you, Kevin. It's easy for you. Now you got some defensive pressure and you wither again under pressure. I'm sick of it. It made me sick because all my friends are Brooklyn Nets fans. All they kept talking about is Durant. He's the best player in the world. I said, listen, he's not the best player in the world right now. I don't think he's top 3 right now. Offensively, give him all the props he wants.
Who do you got as a top 3? I'd love to hear it.
I love Giannis. He's definitely a top player in this league.
Yeah.
Right now, Joel Embiid is a top player in this league. And I got Steph Curry, man. I don't care what anyone says, man. He can't be stopped, Steph Curry. And I got a picture of when Kevin Durant was on that Warrior team in the playoffs. 5 guys were all guarding Curry, and Durant's in the corner waving wide open. That's the different dynamic of pressure. So now when you see a little bit of defense, that's your excuse to why you're not scoring? Nah, I don't want to hear that stuff. And I mean, Kyrie gave him 39 in the first game. So you can't really.
What do you give him in the second game?
Hey, listen. He shot 4 for 15 or whatever in the second game, but he was fasting. He hasn't eaten or drinking anything in over 24 hours going into that game. I'm not killing Kyrie in that game.
Why?
Ramadan. He definitely does not get any of my bashing for that game. He showed up in game 1 to win that game with everybody criticizing him, chanting bad things at him. He dropped 39. Durant withered again in that game. Not as bad as game 2, but he still did not show up. So Kevin Durant has a lot of pressure tonight. Game 3 at home. Thank God that they lifted the mandate, or else Kyrie wouldn't even be playing in this game. Let's see what happens tonight.
I think what we're seeing is you want to talk about mandates. I mean, I think something's going on in Toronto. I think Canada still has it because half of the Red Sox have. I heard basketball players for the Celtics can't go to Toronto, or who's Toronto playing?
Correct. Because if you're not vaccinated, you cannot play in Toronto. Everyone on Toronto.
There's a basketball series going on right now for the Raptors.
Yeah, they're about to get swept, so they're staying home. So,
are they saying that all the Philadelphia 76ers then are vaccinated?
Yes.
Is that what they're saying?
That's what they're saying. But Kyrie,
anybody looking into those? So but they're done, right?
They're about to be done. They can't win 4 straight. No one's ever done it. This Raptor team ain't doing it. That's just one story going. I want to see what Kevin Durant shows out tonight, especially with all the criticism he's got after the first 2 games. Because I'm not saying he sucks. I'm bashing the killer instinct in him.
Here's the thing.
There separates greatness. You know Jordan better than anyone.
In NBA, well, first of all, him and Bird are the same. And
Bird had a killer
instinct. Same mentality of
Kobe had it.
Kobe had it too.
Yeah.
Magic didn't even have it. Magic used to give the ball to Kareem. When they needed a basket, it was get the ball to Kareem and let him do a sky hook. Magic was great on the fast break. He was great at doing, controlling the flow. But when they wanted a basket, they gave the ball to Kareem.
Yeah.
So, listen, in the NBA, when a lot of people dump on a team and say they're done when they're down 0-2. I actually think in the NBA, the first 2 games are must win for the home team because in the playoffs.
No, you're right.
I think it's easy to win 4 in a row, going 3, 4, 5, and 6 because they go home, road, home. 3 of the next 4 games are in one team's building, which means if they just hold serve, they just got to win that one middle game on the road. And I think that's where a lot of teams get caught up in this, where if it's 2-0, they think it's over.
I totally agree. Over. If it's 2-0 and those 2-0s are on the road, then that's huge.
That's a different story.
Not a home team lost yet, so the series is far from over. And I'm not writing though. I think right now it's great value to go get them at 3-1 right now to still win the series, the Brooklyn Nets.
Yeah, I like the Brooklyn Nets.
I'm telling you right now though, if Durant continues to play like he's played in game 1 and 2, they will get swept in this series. Because honestly, Boston hasn't even played good, and they're up 2-0. The Nets should have won games 1 and 2. First of all, the Nets were up 17. The Nets were up 17 in game 2.
Robert Williams is coming back, right?
Yeah, he's supposedly coming. And then supposedly Ben Simmons is coming back game 4. So I don't know the dynamic. How the hell do you come back now? How do they throw him in the fire now? That's crazy.
Let me tell you something.
I'll tell you what, though.
It's going to get worse. It's going to get worse because you've got 2 guys that are already angry about the way they're playing in the series. They're down 0-2. Kyrie is pissed. Durant is pissed. And now you're going to get some guy that's just going to come out there that refuses to shoot the basketball.
I know that he will bring defense. Don't get me wrong, but I can't see a situation where the offense flows with him out.
Can you imagine if they double team Durant and he swings the ball to Ben Simmons? And think about the double teams. Think about the double teams now that can come off of Ben Simmons. Whoever is guarding Ben Simmons can now leave and go double team Kyrie or leave and go double team Durant, and you do not have to worry about him shooting the basketball.
Especially he hasn't played in a year.
It's the worst.
I don't care if he was good at shooting. He hasn't played in a year.
You're talking about
throwing him in now? Come on, the playoffs.
Hasn't he been all year long saying my mental capacity is not there, my back hurts, I can't shoot layups, I can't shoot foul shots,
herniated disc now.
Remember there was over-unders last year? Would he even attempt a three? There were over-unders last year. Would he attempt a three in a game? And that was an over-under, a half.
Yo, last year, I'm going to be real. Over a half for him to hit a three. You know, like people.
It was attempt. It wasn't to hit it. It was would he attempt it?
Yeah, attempt it. And the only way you won is if you threw it up from half court at the end of the quarter. But there was actually odds, and he was plus 5,000 to hit a three. And there's people who are minus 110 to hit a three.
And everybody's like, yeah, he's going to help them out in an 0-2 hole. No. That's piling the dirt. That's him. Let him get the shovel.
And just think of all the extra attention that's going to be coming to Ben Simmons, as far as from everything, the circus that comes with it.
Can you imagine?
And Steve Nash is getting outcoached severely in this series. He's leaving LaMarcus Aldridge and Blake Griffin and Cam Thomas and all these guys who helped all year be good, and they're not even playing.
Look what Kyrie's going through right now. He's flipping people off. He's getting agitated. Can you imagine what the fans are going to do if Ben Simmons?
Exactly. I don't understand how it helps them. If you want to bring him in to start the next series, I could kind of buy it. But to throw him in down 0-2, 0-3, 2-1, whatever. Now
you are in the situation you're in without a guy that quit on his team. He's quit. He's a quitter. Yeah. Let's just be honest. He's a quitter. All right? He's a quitter. Refuses to shoot. He can't shoot foul shots. Refuses to shoot threes. Refuses to take layups if the game's on the line. And you're saying, but he's good on defense. Okay. But the problem right now is Durant just went 0 for 10, and now you're inviting another double team. Now you're inviting a double team. That's what you're saying. Hey, here's the guy that you don't have to guard.
Great point. You put Ben Simmons on the – that's more defense headed towards your two guys, and that makes it even harder.
It's horrible. It's a horrible decision all the way around. So I think the thing that's interesting, though, is if Luka comes back out there in the West, right? Luka comes back.
Yeah.
And
it's unbelievable, bro, because look at that roster. I love Jalen Brunson, a great player. I love Dinwiddie as a guy who could score in this league. The rest of the roster is buns, okay? Buns. Yeah. And they're up 2-1 on Utah. I'm telling you, there's something wrong there with Donovan Mitchell and Gobert still. I don't care what they say. They did the numbers. He only passed to Gobert like one time all season. There's something going on there because you cannot be down 2-1.
Donovan Mitchell's a New Hampshire boy. He went to high school in New Hampshire. Believe it or not, he went to a tiny little high school up in northern New Hampshire.
Yeah? Well,
so go get him.
He needs to come to New York. He needs to get out of Utah. There's something going on there. The chemistry's off.
He went to Brewster. He went to Brewster Academy. Tiny little school way up in the middle of nowhere, New Hampshire. He went to Brewster Academy. Made his name there. So did Warren for Indiana. Indiana's Warren did the same. Listen, they're on their way out, right? We agree that Utah's on their way out.
You can't lose a game to that team without Luka. Not two. A game. On your home court, 2-1-1, you lose. You got blown out. Nah, yo, I'm not buying Utah. I think they're done in this series.
Yeah. So, look at this. I got the Cubbies up a run and a half. They've got guys on first and third. Let's put some runs up right away. They got guys.
What's the score there?
0-0, first and third, bottom of the first.
I need some runs there, yeah.
Yeah, it's first and third. No, one out, first and third. I'd like to see them.
On to the next game. On to the other game the other night. I got to call out Karl Anthony Towns, man. What is going on with Karl Anthony Towns? First of all, you're the franchise. You were the number one pick. You're in a playoff game. You only shoot the ball 4 times? I've never heard of such a thing. You had more turnovers than shot attempts. Pat Beverly shot 5 times in the fourth quarter. You shot 4 times the whole game.
Is this the 3-point winner? Didn't he win the 3-point championship?
He won the 3-point contest, yeah. And was talking shit. Like, yeah, I'm about that life. You ain't about nothing, bro. Every time your team needed you. Every time it was a big game for you,
Yeah.
You're nowhere to be found, bro. And
Yeah.
it's concerning, bro. And I understand he went through a lot the last 2 years, losing his mom to COVID. I understand all
Yeah.
that, but there's something about the
Wasn't it?
fuel, and it
So
brings
wasn't
back
it his
Jimmy Butler.
father?
Remember
Wasn't
Jimmy
it his?
Butler?
Oh yeah, yeah,
Wanted to
yeah,
kick his ass, called him
yeah,
soft, said, I ain't playing with guys like you. You don't want to win. This
yeah,
is what he was talking about. I truly
yeah,
see it.
yeah. 100%. Listen, first of all, let me bring something up. Since I just touched on the fact that he won the 3-point contest, does anybody think that he beats Craig Hodges, Larry Bird, Reggie Miller in a 3-point shootout?
No.
Not a chance in hell. I think that says a lot. Listen, there's one guy in the league right now that would beat those three guys, or at least have a chance to be Steph Curry in a 3-point shootout. Outside of that, nobody's beating those three guys.
Maybe
But
a healthy Klay Thompson, but even then, I think after the injury, he's not as good as those guys would be. But you're absolutely
those
right.
three. I think the three guys. I think two of the three guys I just mentioned, Bird. First of all, Bird and Miller. Not only could they hit their shots, they talked more trash about being as good as they are. I think they would talk everybody else off the court. But I think it'd be interesting. Listen, Karl Anthony Towns. I don't know how he's the main guy, and
well, he's no longer going to be. Anthony Edwards.
Anthony Edwards is your guy, right?
Yeah, he's going to be the face of that franchise going
forward.
What
are they missing? What are they missing to get over to get past everything? What are they missing right now? What do they need?
They need Karl Anthony Towns. That's the crazy. They need him to dominate. How do you not go and say, "Yo, give me the fucking ball"? How are you okay with shooting the ball 4 times? And listen, they were up 26. It got cut to 7. Everyone's like, "Oh, Memphis got this." They put it back to 23, and you still lost by 9. That is epic Minnesota fashion in sports in the playoffs. And I'm sorry, I think that was the game you needed to beat Memphis, because now they're going to win the next 2 and easily cruise to the next round. That was the game you need. How could you have a lead in any game now in this series and think you're going to win after blowing that game? And now Memphis, the better team all along, but you had them on the ropes. You beat them in game 1 on their court. You had the series advantage now. You had them up 26 in your court, and you still down that you lost the series in that game. I'm sorry.
Hey, listen, 2 things happened also. The Bucks absolutely trounced the Bulls, right? The Bucks just trounced them.
Absolutely. Without Middleton, too. That just shows
And
the championship pedigree. Look at Phoenix. Everyone was on the Pelicans last night. Pelicans this, no Booker. Doesn't matter. Championship pedigree teams don't need one guy. It's not about one guy. It's about the whole team, the defense, the chemistry, and the next man stepping up. And I'm sorry, they played through Chris Paul and Ayton yesterday. They both dominated. They easily won that game. Phoenix is still going to get to the finals, and it might be against Milwaukee again. We might see a repeat of last year. That's what it's looking like right now. I mean, the Warriors got a lot to say. We'll see, but the Warriors now have to go through Grizzlies. And I think that's the tougher second round, because I mean, Luka makes Dallas a little more intriguing, but they don't have enough to beat Phoenix. Not this year. And we all know that Utah's not beating Phoenix. So they got the easier second round. So if the Warriors are going to get to Phoenix, they're going to have to go through a grueling series against Memphis first. And I just think Phoenix is too good. So that's where I stand right now. I have an intriguing statement about our little sport hitters challenge in the NBA. Because of the dynamic of how it's run and how it works, we both picked the Nets.
Yep.
We both picked Utah to get one at home.
Yeah.
So I need Memphis, you need Philly as the third team. But listen, if let's say Philly lost and Memphis lost, you still win because you got Utah with 0.4 better points because of when you grabbed them. It's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy. It's like almost line moving, fluctuating.
It is. It did. So, it moves. It moves based on what people are playing, and it moves a tiny little point. So I'm logging in right now.
That's awesome, because it would be kind of lame and stale if we would push in that situation.
So you're actually rooting against one of your picks.
I'm hoping Philly loses, and I need Memphis to win. That's it. I need Memphis to win and Philly to lose. Because if Philly loses and Memphis wins, I mean, if they both win, you win still. So I need Philly to lose and Memphis to win. It's the only way I could beat you, which is a cool dynamic, because we didn't know who each other were picking. So it was all fair game, and just the way that Sport Hitters is run, it's just a cool dynamic. Now I can only win if Memphis wins and Philly loses. So that's a Sport Hitters challenge reference for you. What else we got tonight in baseball? The Mets keep on running. Mets. There's 3 top teams in the MLB right now: Dodgers, Mets, Toronto. To me, those are the 3 best teams that stand out right now. A lot of season left, but those are clearly the best 3 teams on makeup and the way that they're playing on the field. So obviously, there's a couple.
Well,
other
here
good teams that
there
can
is
make
there
way,
is
but
a team right now that's playing very, very good that nobody's talking about, and it's the Giants. They're pitching like crazy.
and the Mets and the
Listen,
Mets took 3 or 4 from that team. Just to
that's
put it
fine.
into reference.
They're playing well 2-2. I still think they just left the bases loaded. Unbelievable.
They
So
didn't
Cubs left
score.
the bases. Yeah, they scored one. They left the bases loaded. Hayward
I'll take
popped
one.
up with the bases loaded. Um,
Hayward.
so, yeah,
They,
Hayward
they still have Hayward.
starting right fielder.
Oh Jesus.
So I just think, first of all, here I want to touch on some of the things that's going on right now that people are complaining about. Number one, a lot of people are starting to complain about Kapler. Yesterday in the Nationals game, they were up 6-1 in the 9th inning. He did a hit and run. He started the run and then he hit. Where does the third baseman for the Nationals get off getting mad at the Giants up 6-1, saying you can't do that? There's unwritten baseball rules. Now they're not up 20-1. They're up 6-1. If I'm the manager of Washington, I don't back him up in that. I'm like, you're insulting us because you think we can't score 5 runs in an inning.
Absolutely. 6-1, that's nothing in baseball.
Yeah.
There's no time limit. Anything could happen. If 5 runs is not enough for me to say stop playing baseball.
Yeah, no.
To lay over.
And where so where is that number? That's why I started thinking, okay, what is the number where they're not mad? Is it
maybe
3-1?
double digits?
Is it 5-1? Is it because it was 6-1 when he did it? And the third baseman literally started benches came out on the field.
This happened a couple weeks ago with the Yankees. And I don't know if it was the Yankees involved, but they were talking to the Yankees manager, Aaron Boone, about it. Somebody put a sacrifice bunt down when they were up by like 6 or 7 runs, and they got all mad about it.
I think it was Kapler again. So Kapler now has had 2 situations where, and it was against the Padres. The last time I remember was against the Padres, and that's when the guy, swore at the guy and he said it was racist undertones, and they had to come out and have that little powwow before the game.
There's 9 innings in baseball. I don't understand why all of a sudden in 7th inning you're not supposed to do things because the game's out.
If it's 17-1, I say okay, I put my backups out there and let them play the game.
Yeah.
If it's 6-1 and my players are complaining that they're trying to beat up on us, I've got a problem with my players.
First of all,
I'm like,
prevent him from getting the hit, and this isn't an argument. I mean, it's sensitive. It's just what the era is right now in life, man. Everyone's sensitive and soft. I hate it.
Yeah. So here's the one thing I will say. I have started to figure out how he's winning. He is doing things unconventionally. So he is definitely doing things unconventionally.
I mean, he won 107 games last year, 105 games, whatever it was. So, I mean, Kapler's actually got something going right for how he's managing his baseball team.
They're pitching really well.
And people who say managers don't matter in baseball, you have no idea what you're talking about. Just look at Buck Showalter.
I would think I think it matters a lot.
It's huge.
I think especially, listen, what did the White Sox do? They went from the team that gave up the most runs in baseball to the team that gave up the second least amount of runs in baseball in 1 year.
And they switched the manager. That was the basic difference. You know what I'm saying? It's all about the preparation, the right decisions, how many pitches,
how you handle
your staff. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. All that matters.
How you handle it.
And just little things like I could just see watching the Mets over the last 10 years into this year, the little things they do that contributes to winning that they didn't do like previously, and it's you got to point your finger at Buck Showalter. So
what is the mood like out there? What is the mood about Jagram? I think the big question.
We're gonna find out this week if he could continue throwing soon. So he has the second MRI Monday. We'll find out if it's looking good. Supposedly, there's some rumors that it's looking good, and he's gonna begin throwing soon. So if we get DeGrom back, the best pitcher in baseball, to this staff already, who's, again, their starter only gave up 1 run through 6 last night. Yeah. It's remarkable what this team could do. I see 100 wins in our future easily, especially with our division isn't as good as I thought it was going to be. I mean, the Phillies came out. They're looking kind of whack. I don't trust Atlanta. The Marlins are the Marlins. The Nationals are not that good. I think the Mets win 100 games. So my hair looks pretty good. Yeah, I'm already thinking about clipping. And the funny thing is, as I scroll through TikTok occasionally, there's a lot of pranks out there, and there's one particular prank that keeps coming up on TikTok in which they put the wax where people wax, the girls wax their legs, like they put it in some dude's hair,
and so he had to shave his head.
Oh.
And then he came back and got the other guy back by putting it on his hair and then his whole face, and his lips were waxed shut, and he had a mustache. And
yeah, let's not get carried away. I'll get buzzed. Man. If I lose like a man, I'm gonna get it buzzed. But I ain't doing all that.
They're not winning the World Series. I'm sorry to say.
Our bet's getting to the World Series. Go back and look at the film.
No, it's winning the World Series.
Go look at the film. I said they're coming out of the NL. They're going to be in the World Series. Go look at the film.
We're going to pull the film. Pull it up. We're going to pull it. We're going to pull that film this week. We're going to settle that because it's winning the World Series.
Okay, we'll see. If you have it on tape winning, you're right.
Yeah.
I know what I said. I said they're getting it.
Okay. All right. So we've covered the NFL. So listen, we got a big week coming up in the draft, and there is shit going on all over the place, right? There's stuff going on all over the place in the draft.
Yeah.
Deebo Samuels now had one good. I keep going back to this because I think the Dolphins. If I'm the Dolphins, Deebo Samuel wants out of San Francisco. That's his offensive coordinator from San Francisco down in Miami. You can't bring in Deebo Samuel and keep Tyreek Hill. You have a chance to unload. I think you have a chance to unload. Tyreek Hill has already insulted Tua Tagovailoa. He's already said he's a Prius compared to a Ferrari that he had. He's already said that. So that's
on record. He said that on record.
Yeah, that came out. That was a tweet. It's like going from what's it like playing with Tua? He goes, well, it's like going from a Ferrari to a Prius.
Wow, that's pretty remarkable that someone would be that dumb to say that.
Well, it's not like he hasn't said other stupid things in the
past.
Listen,
I don't see Miami getting rid of Tyreek before he plays it down in Miami. I understand where you're going.
Get rid of it. Get rid of the problem. You have a chance to unload. Let me tell you something. Now think, is Garoppolo better with Tyreek Hill? Is Garoppolo a better quarterback with Tyreek Hill?
I mean, listen, Garoppolo is what he is. He's a good quarterback. He's not a great one. He's almost quarterback manager kind of type.
Yeah.
They already said they're moving on from him, though. Trey Lance is the guy going forward. They already said that. It's confirmed. Trey Lance is their guy. So maybe that's why Deebo Samuel wants out. I don't know. I think he's complaining that he's not getting paid when he's doing two facets of the offense. He's doing shit from the backfield, and he's going out as a receiver. He said, I want to be just a receiver and get paid like a receiver. So I think that's where the disconnect came from. I don't know. We'll see where it plays out. A lot of times
you wouldn't want to play for McDaniels.
No. And a lot of times this stuff happens and then they end up settling it and he stays. We'll see if that happens until they trade him. I don't know why they would trade him. Obviously, he's not going to play for them if he's this mad. But I don't know I think the Niners, it's best interest to settle it, make sure you get back on good terms with him and keep a player like that. But we'll see where that goes. There's still a lot of time. I don't know if he'll be dealt on draft day. We'll see. There's a lot of possibilities there. Yeah. I can't wait for next week. Going to be in beautiful Tampa Bay, covering the draft with you. It's going to be live. We're going to give away a lot of stuff. It's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to this draft too. I think I got a guy that's crept. I think he's a lock for the top 5 now. He was a highly talked about guy already. Ahmad Gardner, Sauce. I think the cornerback, his stock shot up, and I think the Jets or Giants at 4 or 5 are going to go for him. I'm not going to get into a lot of draft stuff right now, but that's my early prediction is that he's a top 5 pick. So a guy who doesn't give up a touchdown in college. How crazy is that? He didn't give up 1 touchdown in 4 years in college. Got to go for him. We're not going to
have a lot to say Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and we'll be covering it live from Duffy's in Tampa. Yeah, that's going to be fun. That's going to be a lot of fun. And then we should have a big announcement on Monday about something else that's going on, which is going to be awesome. So. All right. Listen, we were talking about baseball. I've got a problem with your pick, but one thing is, there is something happening, and I always say this. This goes back to understanding baseball. I don't know how to say his name. Senzatella. Okay. On the mound today for the Rockies. On paper, it looks like you've got to take him. They're playing the Tigers. The problem is, he is that guy that throws. His numbers are so much better in Colorado than they are on the road. He's getting shelled again on the road. Detroit, I thought, if somebody was going to go a dog with a crazy dog pick, I thought Detroit today was the day to take Detroit.
Yeah, okay.
Because of he is that guy. He's like the Gibson. I told you last week. Watch Gibson when he goes on the road. He's not going to light it up like he does at home. He pitches better at home. Last year in Texas, he pitched great at home. He didn't pitch great on the road. You're looking at Sensinella. Now, when Sensinella goes home, take him.
Yeah.
Even if he's playing the Dodgers. You're going to get him at plus 130, plus 140 against the Dodgers at home. Take him. He's going to do well in those games.
And listen, there was a lot to like about the Tigers from this standpoint. I mean, this is just something that I know because I'm in a pool where I have the Tigers as a team in my baseball pool where you got to get 0 to 13 runs. So it's kind of a way for you to track how this team's scoring. They haven't
Yeah.
scored more than 7 runs. They only did it once. Every other game, they scored less than 5. So
Yep.
they are due to break out. That's a team due.
Yep.
And then you got the Miguel Cabrera 3,000 hit looming. I thought today
He
the
did it
Tigers
today.
was a good day.
He did it today.
Yeah, he did it. So that's part
Did it
of the
today.
reason why they're crushing. And I
Yeah.
thought that that's a good reason to cap into why the Tigers would be a good pick today.
Yeah,
So
I
good
just,
catch.
I think you just got to look at those pitchers. Look at those 3 and 4 pitchers that pitch good at home and not great on the road. And then that's what I mean. You're getting them. All right. So I got to get back to this because I think I'm going to end up on this game, and I think I'm going to end up on the Cardinals. This game's going to start in about an hour, and I think I'm going to end up on the Cardinals just because I like Dakota Hudson. But the problem is I hate taking road teams. And this is a road game. So I guess you got a home team. You got a home team.
I got a home team. They lost 10 in a row.
Yeah.
I mean, as a professional and a competitor, you got to know you lost 10 in a row. Let's come out here and get a win, especially at home.
Listen, is there a watch going on already? Is the Joey Votto watch on? Is it on?
Yeah.
Are we watching Joey Votto already to see what's going to happen?
This is the last couple months in a Reds jersey for Votto. I think that's a fact. And listen, Vegas made them the favorite. A team that lost 10 in a row who looks horrendous, like all-time bad, to be favored against a Cardinal team, to me, that's just a sign that they know that this
Votto's got no home runs. He's got no home runs this year.
I don't think he cares. I don't think he has any motivation to play well. And I mean, it hurts his stock in the trade market, but I think just as soon as he gets,
I don't think it hurts his stock.
I think everyone knows what player Votto is. Once he gets that new scenery, he'll start to play again.
And he's good. I think he's great in the community too. I thought he did really good when he had that mic in. He seems to be really great in the community. Listen, at the end of the day, I want to see that guy get treated well and go someplace where he has a chance to win or be competitive at the end. He's a future Hall of Famer.
Absolutely.
And he's just not putting the numbers up right now to keep him. But I think I'd like to see him go. So listen, we're going to have to cover a couple things. And one is the referees, the umpires are getting worse. I didn't think it was possible. They are getting worse on their strike zones. And we talked about something. We've been talking about something, and we did. So let's bring this one thing up because this goes to the umpires, and this has to do with the NBA. It's impossible for me to fathom that there's not something to the Foster thing now with Chris Paul. I don't know how.
It's an unbelievable stat in sports. It's unbelievable because of so many variables that come into play for that to be a true stat. A one guy reffing and a one guy in the league can't win when he refs. That's bizarre. You know what I'm saying? And it happened again in game 2. And it's the number 1 seed at home against the 8 seed too, where it happened.
It could be it could almost be counterproductive, the fact that everybody's talking about it now, that Foster won't give him any calls because he doesn't want to look like he is giving them the calls. Yeah. I don't think it's a gambling thing. I think it's, some people are saying, well, he's gambling against him. I don't think that. I actually think it came up at 06 when he lost like 6 or 7. I think Chris Paul actually complained about it. And then I think
he did.
I don't think Foster has said, I don't like Chris Paul, now I have to call against him. I think it's almost like I can't give him calls that I might give him because then it's going to look like I'm giving into it.
And it's funny, I heard a lot of people going into that game too, when they saw Foster was the ref, half of them were saying, oh, I'm taking the Suns because there's no way Foster lets this trend continue. And then there was half that said, yo, I got to follow the trend. They don't win when he refs.
Yeah,
so it's bizarre. I can't believe it stayed true. I didn't think it was going to stay true myself. But it's funny. Let's see if he refs another game in that series going forward.
All right. So one of the things I got to work on is what we're hearing is I've got to pull up the clip from last week and find out what exactly you said, because I'm pretty sure you said to win the World Series.
See if you pull it up. I'm pretty sure I said to get to the World Series.
The Cubs got guys on first and third again, second inning, bottom of the second. Let's put up some runs this time. Let's stop with this.
The Asian sensation's up. Suzuki, he's been great. I remember they brought him in from Japan, and he's been nothing but remarkable.
He's batting .350. Got a hit in the first. He has the RBI.
He's got 4 homers already. Like, he's been absolutely crazy.
Oh, speaking of the Asian sensations, have you seen this pitcher over there? Have you seen the pitcher who's got like 27 straight perfect innings or something? Have you seen this pitcher that's going on? He had a complete game, no hitter. He had a perfect game. He had an absolute perfect game, and then he came back and he threw a 6th-inning no-hitter the next game. And he's 20 years old.
He's
It's a
pitching.
complete hit.
He's pitching in
It's
Japan.
a 20-year-old. Yeah, he's like 20 or 21. He threw a complete game, perfect game. He came back and he threw 6 innings of no-hit baseball after that. Yes, he's like 20, 21. My guess is he's on his way to the MLB. He's got to be on his way here.
Interesting. Yeah, usually if you dominate over there, you definitely ended up in the MLB. Let's see. The Cubs have 5 hits in the 2nd inning. Let's see if they can plate a couple here. Get some separation.
Need some runs, need some separation, need that 1.5 covered.
Start working on that guy. He got another hit, this guy. Sixth hit of the game, 2-0 Cubs.
There you go.
This guy's unreal. He's easily the rookie of the year right now. I know it's only 2 weeks in, but I mean, what is he? He's their best player.
He's their best player right now. He's the best offensive player.
Yeah.
All right, and your team's playing Houston tonight. What do you like? Toronto on the road, Houston at home? What are you thinking?
That's a tough one. I think Houston's good too, so it's not like they're playing a team that they should easily beat. They ended up winning last night. They got their closer finally in trouble. 1st and 3rd, 1 out. He struck out the next 2. So he got the save. I think that Houston could win tonight. I'm not going to touch that game. I'm not going to sit there. The Mets too. The Mets are pitching one of their relief guys today, so I'm not going to go on. But they should beat them. That's the Diamondbacks. You know how bad we say they are. But I'm not going to touch those 2 teams. I'm not touching today. What was the other game I took in the challenge? Let me see. I took the Reds. I took the Cubs. I took the Cubs today. I said Pittsburgh won 2 in a row at Wrigley. There's no way they win a 3rd. And what's the other game I took?
You got Philly?
No.
Huh, your boy's pitching. You usually like your boy there, Wheeler.
It's not Philly. Let me see.
You're usually on Wheeler.
I took the Texas Rangers, so we're opposite there. I just think they're on a hot streak and they're going to find, because they started 2-9, and I know their talent is better than 2-9. They won 2 in a row. I think they're going to continue to beat up on Oakland. So those are my 3 picks. Reds, Cubs, Oakland, Texas.
Who's on the mound for Oakland? I might have Oakland in that.
Freddie Montas. Yeah, you do. We're opposite on that one. Yeah.
Yeah, I got Montas. All right. So I'm a big fan of Montas. He's their best pitcher. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. When's that game go off? We get that game up in a little while.
There's a lot of 4 o'clock games. That might be one of them. Games.
Yeah. You know what? I'm going to head out to the sports bar. I'm going to try to watch the fight. They have the boxing match over there.
Yeah, I'm going to watch that too. I'm going to head over there and watch it too. FanDuel's got it. Should be a good day. Looking forward to this week. Yeah, they're showing it. There's a lot of promotion about it.
You looking forward to your flight? Get Dramamine? Are you a Dramamine guy?
I just can't wait to land in beautiful Florida. Jersey gets a little dirty in the air a lot. It's starting to get nice, but nothing like that tropical Florida sun. We get to reunite ourselves. It should be fun. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, it should be a lot of fun. All right, we're gonna come back tomorrow and do a recap of today. Get ready. We might actually tease a couple of the NFL draft props that we're gonna have.
Yes, sir.
Tomorrow. Then I think you're going to start to see a lot of stuff going on in the app on Monday about the draft. And
stuff's about to start getting real, guys. Let's get it.
Yeah, and we might. You know what? I think either Monday or Tuesday we're going to have to look for NBA, and I want to throw some props in the app and have some prop contests for the NBA playoffs. So I want you to come up with some cool props.
Gotcha.
But anyway, all right, man. It was fun. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, buddy.